Need to say anything. You know, the people who understand the greatness of it and, you know, have their own life, that what happened happened.
Jake Paul just dropped a bombshell about his Netflix fight with Mike Tyson, and it's anything but ordinary post-fight drama. Sure, the fight happened over a month ago, and most people have moved on, but Jake hasn't. Why? Sponsors are ditching him, fans are giving him the cold shoulder, and his reputation is on thin ice. So, what does he do? He goes on Logan Paul's podcast, slaps on a dramatic coming clean headline, and spills some jaw-dropping tea. Tyson was allegedly the mastermind behind the entire shady ordeal.
But I do have to be careful in the early rounds.
And honestly, if Tyson's sitting on a $400 million fortune compared to Jake's pre-fight $30 million, why would he even bother? Fame. Come on, it's Mike Tyson. We're talking about a legend who doesn't need to box a YouTuber for clout. So what's the real story here?
Man, when you were in there.
I don't remember it.
You didn't even remember?
Let me break it down for you, but fair warning, if you take Jake at his word, you might walk away with a whole new perspective on Tyson, and it's not a flattering one.
People are like, oh, it's rigged because look at him on the pads, but he didn't do this in the fight. Because someone is fucking punching back, you dumb fucks. Like,
it turns out Jake Paul knew exactly what he was getting into when he agreed to fight Mike Tyson. On Logan's podcast, Jake openly admitted he had no illusions. He knew people would criticize him no matter the outcome. And honestly, he played right into it like a pro. For Jake, it wasn't about winning or losing. It was about creating a spectacle. A YouTuber stepping into the ring with a boxing legend.
my power.
That is true.
And my jab and my speed and my ability and my footwork to get out of the way of those punches. So then all of a sudden he's throwing at literally air.
Jake practically auditioned for the role of the villain, nailed it, and milked it for every drop. Hey, that's just fuel for clicks, and clicks mean cash. If controversy were an Olympic sport, the Paul brothers would be gold medalists. But then Logan hit him with the big question, the one we've all been wondering but didn't dare say out loud. Was the fight rigged? Jake didn't deny it outright. Instead, he smirked and dropped this bombshell. Asterisk rigged fights are for people who need money. I don't need it. Maybe Mike did. Asterisk one cryptic comment and the internet exploded. Jake didn't just spark a fire. He poured gasoline on the whole thing.
Land those punches on.
Let's unpack that for a moment. Jake didn't outright accuse Tyson of rigging the fight, but let's be real. The implication was as subtle as a knockout punch. He pointed the finger just enough to make you question Tyson's motives. And honestly, Tyson's financial struggles haven't exactly been a well-kept secret.
Houses or drugs, girl?
Planes, well, it's stupid shit,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was fun.
Right. You don't regret any? Do you regret anything?
Yeah, and I didn't pay taxes really at that time.
Sure, Tyson's a legend, but his career has had more twists and turns than a roller coaster. These days, his business ventures aren't exactly raking in millions. A comeback fight like this wasn't just about throwing punches. It was about staying relevant, cashing in, and reminding the world that he's still Iron Mike.
Where'd most of it go? Because I'm from Connecticut. I know where your house, your old house, 50 Cent's house now, right? Does he still own it?
I have no idea.
But that house had movie theaters, what else in it?
Everything.
Then Jake twisted the knife even deeper, hinting, without outright saying it, that Tyson might have agreed to lose as part of the deal. Let that sink in. If there's any truth to that claim, it means Tyson could have gambled his legacy for a bigger paycheck and a chance to stay in the spotlight. And Jake? He walks away as the guy who beat a boxing icon, while the internet tears itself apart debating whether the fight was even legit.
I made a lot of money, the most money I've made ever. But what are you gonna buy with the money? Probably a ranch.
Here's the kicker. Jake's comment wasn't some offhand remark. It was a calculated move, plain and simple. By dropping that asterisk, maybe Mike needed it asterisk line, he shifted the spotlight off himself and squarely onto Tyson. Classic Jake Paul. Stir up chaos, let the internet run wild with it, and watch the views pour in. People love a good conspiracy theory, and Jake served one up on a silver platter.
I was missing. I can't believe he can move like that.
So why'd even make a statement like that? If Jake had nothing to hide, maybe it was a preemptive strike. He wanted to stay ahead of the narrative and make sure people didn't start pointing fingers at him first. Or maybe, and this is peak Jake, it was all about throwing Tyson under the bus, knowing the drama would keep people talking for weeks. Whatever his motive, one thing's clear. Jake never makes a move without knowing exactly how it's going to play out.
With the way the night went down.
I wish he would have, like put up a better fight so then I could have like risen more and done more.
Sure, the hype was through the roof. Tyson's a living legend, and Jake Paul knows how to get a crowd buzzing. But let's not kid ourselves. This wasn't just about the love of boxing. The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. This fight was less about competition and more about business, branding, and bank accounts. And honestly, when you connect all the dots, it's hard not to see the strategy behind the chaos.
Surviving,
He was.
so
So
that
annoying.
was the only thing I didn't like.
So annoying when they don't bring the
Let's start with Tyson's finances. The man earned over $400 million in his prime, only to declare bankruptcy in 2003. Since then, he's tried everything from stand-up tours to selling weed gummies shaped like ears. But despite all the hustle, his recent ventures haven't exactly been home runs. Enter Jake Paul, Netflix, and a $20 million payday for a retired athlete dealing with financial turmoil. That kind of cash isn't just tempting, it's life-changing. Tyson wasn't just stepping into the ring for sport, he was stepping into a marketing goldmine.
I think Jake's in a lot of trouble.
But here's where it gets even juicier. This fight wasn't just about Tyson making a quick buck, it was about putting himself back in the spotlight. Think about it. His name alone ensured global attention, and the fight wasn't just a match, it was a stage.
We signed on here to see you. You lit up Tyson 2.0. Last time we saw you in Vegas, you handed me a bag of your Mike Bites, the edibles. Fantastic. I love them.
Tyson leveraged the fight to promote his cannabis brand, Tyson 2.0, and teased an upcoming Netflix documentary series. It wasn't just a fight, it was a full-blown infomercial wrapped in a boxing match. If that doesn't scream calculated move, I don't know what does.
They have no expectations. We have expectations.
Yep.
If I don't get 100 million views, fuck out of here, my name.
Right.
No, these guys just want a piece of banana.
They want to eat,
Listen,
live.
They're so hungry. They're starving. So
Now, let's talk about the whispers, the ones suggesting this fight wasn't exactly on the up and up. Jake Paul walked away with a unanimous decision win, and while there wasn't a knockout, there were plenty of moments that made fans pause and think, wait, what asterisk? Some believe Tyson might have agreed to lose for the payday and the exposure. After all, his legacy is bulletproof at this point. Losing to Jake Paul isn't going to erase decades of dominance, but it sure generated enough buzz to keep the cash flowing.
A little bow at the end. He bowed.
that's the last thing I remember.
Dude, there was a lot of people online that said that's when you should have hit him, when he was bowing down like that. That's when you
He's gonna hit me. That's why I was like, what the hell?
And then there's Netflix. This wasn't just another boxing event. It was a spectacle designed for streaming. Netflix reportedly attached performance bonuses based on viewership and engagement, raising the stakes for everyone involved. Tyson's name guaranteed viewers, while Jake Paul's internet-breaking antics ensured the fight would go viral. For Netflix, it was a gamble that paid off. For Tyson and Jake, it was a massive payday and a chance to dominate the headlines. As for the fans, well, let's just say they might have been the only ones left wondering if any of this was legit.
for us. We're like, dang, we wanted more. Is there anything about the fight you would have changed based on the experience?
Oh, not at all. Listen, I wouldn't have realized any of it if it went 3-minute round. I didn't realize it.
But here's where things take a turn. After the fight, Tyson appeared on Fevlog Sports Radio, and his comments were, to say the least, puzzling. When asked about key moments in the fight, he claimed he kind of blanked out. Blank out in a fight you were paid millions to headline. It gets even more bizarre. When asked about holding back punches, Tyson didn't deny it. He simply dodged the question, offering vague and almost dismissive answers. And when pressed if he'd watched the footage back, he flat out said, "No, I have not." For a man who spent his life analyzing his performances. This sudden amnesia was, let's just say, suspicious.
Yeah, it was a real fight.
What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
I don't remember it.
You didn't even remember it. I heard
But my body was really sore.
it was sort of
And the timing of his appearance wasn't random. Tyson used the platform to promote what else? His cannabis brand and upcoming Netflix projects. The whole thing felt less like an honest debrief and more like a promotional campaign. It was as if the fight was just a vehicle to boost everything else Tyson's working on. Fans who expected brutal honesty from the man known for his no-holds-barred persona got vague deflections and a sales pitch instead. Tyson's silence about the fight itself only adds to the mystery. For someone who's never been shy about his controversial past, his reluctance to address this match head-on is deafening. Whether he's avoiding the topic because of a behind-the-scenes deal or just because he's over it, one thing's clear. This wasn't your typical boxing match. It was a well-oiled business machine designed to benefit everyone involved, except maybe the fans who thought they were watching a genuine clash of titans.